It is game one of a two-game set between the Yankees and the Red Sox in Boston. Aaron Judge continues to chase history and run down Roger Maris, but would it be enough? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. All right, how's it going, everybody? We've officially got a win streak going. That's 3 in a row. That's 7 out of the last 9 games for the Yanks. Garrett Cole had some trouble with the long ball tonight, but the Yankees put together another comeback victory, showing some resilience that we haven't seen from them over the past couple of months. Aaron Judge added to his MVP resume with 2 game-tying home runs tonight.
Pay that man his money.
Unreal. And from my perspective, it will be an all-time upset if Shohei Ohtani wins the American League MVP over Aaron Judge. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just no contest. The guy's far and away better. And I screwed up the score. I've got the score on the screen as 7-6 Red Sox. It's actually 7-6 Yankees. So let me fix that. Big hit for Gleyber Torres tonight. He's quietly started to heat up. A few of the big hits on the homestand. I think he had 3 home runs and a good start to his road trip. The sand continues to drain out of the hourglass that is the 2022 season. Just 20 games left after tonight. Yankees stand at 86 wins. Let me know in the comments how many you think he's going to end up with, or the Yankees are going to end up with. I'm thinking Aaron Judge, how many he's going to end up with. I think he's going to end up with, probably about 63, 64. I mean, it's looking like he's going to far surpass Maris. He's 2 ahead of his pace now after tonight. Big Jason Dominguez news, in case you missed it before the game. He's going to finish the season with the AA Somerset Patriots, so he's been moved up a level. That's huge for a 19-year-old kid. He actually made his debut there tonight. First batted ball was an error, but he hit it 107 miles an hour off the bat. I think it's safe to say that Jason Dominguez is finally back on the fast track after the COVID lost year and then the slow season last season. He's kind of catapulted himself back into that top prospect status. Yankees have one more game at Fenway tomorrow, and then they have Thursday night off, but this ended up being a fantastic nail-biter of a game. 20 games left. So Garrett Cole was actually sharp out of the gate. 9 strikes out of his first 11 pitches to work a scoreless first inning, but the Red Sox got to him in the second. An opposite field 2-run home run from the rookie Tristan Casas to make it 2-zip. It was a good piece of hitting, and I thought that the analysis made by David Cohn comparing that guy's swing to Mo Vaughn was an apt one. That was the same type of home run Mo Vaughn used to hit. If you remember the 90s, Mo Vaughn just killed the Yankees. Killed them. You pitch him away, and he would just absolutely drill it over that left field monster. Pitch him in, he would hit it into the bullpen. He was just unreal. Yankees did answer right back, however.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
2-run shot by Marwin Gonzalez to tie the game. So that's something the Yankees were doing really well early in the season, getting right back up off the mat after they took a punch. 5 home runs on the season for Gonzalez. He's only 52 behind Aaron Judge. Garrett Cole gave it right back, though. Solo home run by Ryan McGuire, his first home run of the season. Fat pitch, not surprised by the result. Top 6, Aaron Judge.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Play that man his man.
Oppo Boppo, number 56. Beautiful piece of hitting. For most guys, that's a double in the gap, but not for Aaron Judge. He's just too strong. So it goes just over the wall. That tied the game up at 3. Once again, though, Garrett Cole gave it right back. Solo home run to Xander Bogaerts. Cheapy down the line, but they all count. That gave the Red Sox a 4-3 lead. Cole was done after 6. Final line, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. So look, I don't care how many strikeouts you have. You got to stop giving up so many home runs. I'm tired of making excuses for this guy. He has got to pitch better, especially against the Boston Red Sox. I mean, it's one prerequisite for any new player that comes to the Yankees. You have got to play good against the Boston Red Sox, and he just has not, especially in Fenway. ERA over 7 in Fenway for his career, at least as a Yankee. Top 8, Aaron Judge bails him out again.
He's got it again.
Another solo home run, 57 on the season for Aaron Judge. Roger Maris had 55 through 142 team games. Judge now 5 home runs away from breaking the record. That's unreal. Enjoy it, because you may never see this again. That was also his 3rd hit of the game, raising his average to 310, and he is firmly in the Triple Crown hunt. He's got 20 more home runs than the next guy, and I'm actually shocked that he hasn't hit 3 in a game yet. It's only a matter of time, right? His OPS on the season now, 1.106. That is insanity. Jonathan Loaisiga was great again tonight. Clay Holmes came in for the 9th, and he began with a 3-0 count, and you're worried if, maybe he's going to lose it, but he came back to get the hitter, and then he got out of the inning with no damage. Yankees loaded the bases in the top of the 10th for Gleyber Torres. A huge bases-clearing double. That gave the Yankees a 7-4 lead. Red Sox actually scratched and clawed and got 2 back in the bottom half. But thankfully, mercifully, the Yankees hang on to win.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
All right, we had to put the belt vote up today to find out. There were a couple of good candidates, obviously. Gleyber Torres with the 3-run double, but Aaron Judge had 2 game-tying home runs, and I think that's what seduced people. Aaron Judge, once again, wins the belt.
Let's go. Belt winner.
Adam with the super chat. Appreciate that. And Spaghetti says, I do not trust Garrett Cole in game 1 of the playoffs. Well, you've got a point. However, he'll likely be pitching against the Twins or the Guardians, and I think he would have no problem with either of those teams. And we've seen what he can do against the Astros. He just has a lot of trouble with the Boston Red Sox for whatever reason. Mike to AC Merch says, love beating the Dead Sox. Oh, and Cole gives up way too many long balls.
I
Wholeheartedly agree. It's funny, that was one of the best wins of the year. And yet, I'm seeing a lot more negative comments about Cole than positive comments about, either Judge or Gleyber Torres. I'm going to pull up the box score real quick, and we're going to go through that. Greg Hughes says Cole can't be the game 1 starter. I mean, he's been pretty solid, just not against the Red Sox. Chef says one of the best clutch hits from Torres yet. And he's had a number of them. He had a couple of walk-off home runs. I think he had that big opposite field hit to win the game earlier this year. Anthony Segarra says Guardians is the worst name for any team. I agree. I thought it should have been the Cleveland Drew Carries, right? Cleveland Drew Carries. Ben K says, how have I not noticed a 23-run home run? Do I have an edit on here? Hold Oh, yeah, I do. I had some issues with my, All right, I'm going to fix that. There we go. Sorry. All right, I had some issues with my stats tonight. Sorry about that. Miguel says, Cole isn't our ace, Nestor is. And Spaghetti has joined as a member. Thank you very much. FG says an ace can't be giving up home runs to rookies. Yeah, I expect better. I think most of you expect better, right? But the box score, let's go through it here. Yankees did get 8 hits. Judge with 3 of them. Stanton picked up a hit. It was a chopper over the first baseman's head. So not exactly crushed, but it is what it is. Gleyber Torres, the biggest hit of the night, the 3-run double. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Jose Trevino both had singles, and Marwin Gonzalez hit a 2-run jack. Garrett Cole, 4 earned runs tonight, but 10 strikeouts. ERA sits at 3.30. Lucas Litke, 2/3 of an inning. Trevino worked 1/3 of an inning. Loaizaga had a really strong outing tonight. He continues to look good. Holmes gets the win in relief, 1 1/3 innings. Gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, and gets a strikeout. No walks, no hits allowed, but he did hit a batter. And Wandy Peralta picks up the save. 2.41 ERA on the season. All right, let's fix this Marwin Gonzalez stat. So with the stats, I'm going through while the game is going along, and I'm tweaking the stats. And the closer the game and the later it takes for the game to really be decided, the more opportunities there are for me to make a mistake and not catch it. So occasionally that happens. But everything should be right now. Gonzalez, 2-run home run. Yankees win 7-6. Samantha T says, Cole hasn't been clutch against anyone. He actually pitched pretty well against the old Cleveland Indians in the wild card game a couple of years ago. That was probably his best outing as a Yankee, 13 strikeouts in that game. He also pitched well against Houston last year during the middle of the season when the Yankees were struggling, and they went into Houston. They wanted to win to close out before the break, and he went all 9, had 138 pitches. So Douglas Rao says, the Athletics isn't a great name. I like that. Anthony Segarra says, Guardian sounds like when you don't have parents, a legal guardian. I don't know. Look, to me, I'll probably accidentally say Indians for the rest of my life, and I always associate the Cleveland baseball team with the movie Major League, in which they're the Indians. So in my head, they're still the Indians, but like I get that name, I guess, was offensive to some people. I have Cherokee Indian in my blood, and it didn't offend me, but to some people, I guess it was. So they changed it, and we all just got to get used to saying it. It is what it is. Lou Rom says, good win, but concerned. I'm actually not that concerned. I thought we played pretty well tonight. I mean, some games are nail biters. We had some good offense out of Judge. We had Gleyber Torres with the big hit. Bullpen looked pretty good. I'm a little bit more concerned about Aaron Judge. Matt Lamia says the Cleveland River fires. That's a reference to the Cuyahoga River in Cleveland. So if you don't know about this, I think it was during the 60s, maybe the early 70s. The Cuyahoga River in Cleveland was so polluted that it caught fire. The river caught fire. And so that actually was instrumental in, I think, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, being founded so that, more rivers wouldn't catch on fire in the future. Frankie Baseball says 24th belt and 15th of the year. Paulino says, surprised no one is talking about Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes, I thought, did fine. I mean, he worked a scoreless 9th. He's not used to going 2 innings. And he hit a batter, but look, there was already a runner on second, and I think that made it a little bit worse. Like, it amplified the danger because right then you automatically had the tying run on base, but really all he did was hit the leadoff guy of his second inning of work, which isn't that big a deal. Let's see here. Lou Rom says, good game, but no closer we can depend on. I'm just going to go ahead and disagree.
Just a bit outside.
I really think we can count on Clay Holmes. I think he's turned it around. And I think Jonathan Loizaga's turned it around. Victor says, I don't remember Cole's fastball being this hittable when he was in Houston. Wholeheartedly agree. I mean, he's always been prone to the home runs, but he's definitely pitching more like the Pittsburgh Garrett Cole than like the Houston Garrett Cole in terms of his stuff. MG says hats for bats. All right, we got a couple of more super donos coming in. Spaghetti says, if Cole was a free agent, how much would he get? That's a good question. I mean, considering he's a little bit older now than he was before, I definitely don't think he would get, what was it, a 9-year deal? I don't think he would get 9 years. I think he could probably get 7 years at 30 per. I think he'd get 7 years, 210. I mean, the spider tack definitely had to have made a difference in his price. Jailbert Vic says, Hicks like a disease that never goes away. Yikes. So, Aaron Hicks actually had a pinch hit at bat tonight where he drew a crucial walk. And it was an interesting at bat because they were clearly sending him up there not to get a hit, right? That was a pitcher who struggles with his command. He was throwing sinkers in the dirt. He was falling behind in the count. And historically, over the course of the season, he's had a lot of trouble with command. Aaron Hicks, despite not hitting very much, he still knows the strike zone pretty well. He doesn't draw as many walks because you can pitch to him. But to a guy who's not going to be precise with his pitches, that's actually a really good move by Aaron Boone to send him up and get him in the game. Eric C. says, Cleveland Rockers for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I love it. You know, or something like the Cleveland Drummers or the, I don't know, Strummers. They don't have to rhyme with drummer, by the way. Vecna says Boone is a moron for putting in Hicks. I'm going to go ahead and disagree.
Just a bit outside.
I think it was the right move there. Frankie Baseball with my favorite quote from Major League. This guy here is dead. Cross him off then. I could quote Major League endlessly. I've probably seen the movie, 200 times in my life. Probably the greatest baseball movie in terms of comedy, anyway, that I've ever. He also said the Cleveland LeBrons. Frankie's on his game tonight. Apparently, let's see here. Apparently, somebody left another super dono, but I do not see it. Harold says that Cole minus the sticky stuff is average. You're not wrong. He's been pretty good this year. I mean, he's got 11 wins. He's got a 3.3 ERA. But, I mean, you look at what Verlander's doing. That's what we thought we were getting. We thought we were getting a guy who was hitting that point in his career where he could have like a sub-2 ERA 3 or 4 times in a 5-year stretch. That's who we were paying to get. He was just starting to hit his zenith as a pitcher. And we thought he was going to be able to keep that up. COVID ruined 2020. In 2021, you get the sticky stuff ban. And since then, he just hasn't been the same pitcher. I mean, he's been good, but he just hasn't been great. Home World Hub Media says, I'm very worried about the direction of the franchise this coming offseason. If we re-sign Judge, we will have so much money tied up in a few positions that it will cripple us for years to come. I mean, you're right to be worried. But we do have some money coming off the books. Zach Britton, Aroldis Chapman, and we've got some young relievers. It would be nice if we could find somebody to take some of Aaron Hicks or Josh Donaldson's salaries, but that's $35 million right there that the Yankees have to carry. But I do think the Yankees have potential in the next few years to have a lot of, rookies and low-paid guys on their roster. Peraza looks like he can play short, even though they haven't played him in 4 days. Anthony Volpe looks like the real deal. We talked about Jason Dominguez, the Martian. He's on his way up. He could be your center fielder. I think you need to re-sign Judge. I think you need to re-sign Andrew Benintendi. And I think the only other player you spend on the free agent market this year is Diaz, Edwin Diaz from the Mets. That would be the guy I would go out and sign. Really lock down closer, and then have Clay Holmes go back to that setup position where he can throw the 8th, Mike King hopefully back for the 7th, and then everybody else can mix and match late in the game. And then you let the young guys try and score. Score with more contact. Obviously, Peraza and Volpe have a little bit of power. Dominguez, he probably won't be up next year, but he's a guy who can provide power hopefully when he finally does arrive. We're past the days where young guys who are studs don't hit for power when they first come up. I mean, look at Tatis, Julio Rodriguez. I mean, guys, once you make it to the major leagues, you can pretty much hit the long ball. And I expect that from Dominguez when he gets here. I know his minor league home run numbers aren't off the charts, but he's going to get stronger and get better as he gets a little bit older. Sean Fanning says, Wandy for Talkman was such a good trade. What a move by Cashman. Yeah, we give Cashman a lot of crap, but that was an excellent trade. That really was. Chris thinks the Yankees will just miss the 100 win mark and get to 99. I think they're going to get to about 98. I think if they go 12-8 the rest of the way, that gets them to 98. And I'll take that. I'll sign up for that. Alex Valerio says, is anyone excited for the World Baseball Classic? I am! I love the World Baseball Classic. Paulo says, Marwin deserves some shine for his quality at bats tonight. Yeah, he had a big home run. Good night. Anthony Segarra says the Cleveland opioid crisis. Wow.
Just a bit outside.
You get all the negative ones for that. That was tough. Frankie says, for some reason, I can't get into the World Baseball Classic. It's just blah to me. I mean, I get it. We tend to root for laundry, right? We root for the Yankees jersey, and part of the fun is that, we look forward to the next year, and the next year we think about the prospects, and we think about, not just the current moment, but the state of the franchise, past, present, and future. But the World Baseball Classic, it's so new. There's not really any great American moments. I think they won one of them, but I don't really remember anything about it. So I understand. But it's also one where you get to see a lot of different elements to baseball that I don't think you see as much during the major league games. Like, during some of those Caribbean games where you got flags and music in the stands, it's just a completely different environment. And to me, that's fun to watch. Japan baseball games are a ton of fun to watch. The waving banners, like the music, the drumming, it's just a completely different environment. Whereas in America, it's more of a relaxed, kind of a slower game. John Kirk says, when Bader comes back, if he goes to center and Judge to right, who plays left? Cabrera and Duhar? Benny would be in left if he makes it back. And that's a question that we talked about on the show last week, and I talked about it with Jason Surge today on our video. I think it's got to be Cabrera. I mean, he's done such a nice job in right field that I would have no hesitancy at all in putting him in left field. However, it is a different look. The ball slices a different way. Left field is bigger in Yankee Stadium than right field. You got Death Valley out there. It's 399 feet to the left center field wall. So it's different. But his arm plays. He's got an accurate arm. He comes directly over the top. He's got a quick release, and he's accurate. That plays. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. I really think that Cabrera is going to go to left. And I'm not counting on seeing Andrew Benintendi again this year. The hamate bone is just it's too big a part of your swing. Like to come back from surgery in 3 or 4 weeks is really, really tough. Now, maybe if the Yankees get to the ALCS, you might see Benintendi. And at that point, do you really want to put him in without any rehab games? I guess it'll depend on how everything's shaken out, who's playing, well out there at that point. So, anyway, MG says cheap luxury seats at WBC games. Yeah, let's hear it for price savings. All right, guys, you guys want to watch some highlights? Let's watch some highlights of the game. I like doing this. Don't do this nearly enough. So early on, Garrett Cole serving up the opposite field home run. This off the DraftKings sign. Opposite field jack. Later on, base hit by Isaiah Kiner-Falefa up the middle. And then Marwin Gonzalez, outside pitch, 91 miles an hour, but he hooks it. And this one goes into the bullpen. 2-run shot. Good swing. Level swing. A little later on, this is a hanger. Now, this is a fastball, actually. And he knows what to do with it. But Aaron Judge bailing him out with a game-tying home run opposite field. That was number 56, but he was not done. Beautiful swing. Low and away, just stays with it. Here's Xander going opposite field. This one just inside the pesky pole. Be interested to see if that's a home run anywhere else in baseball. I doubt it. But Aaron Judge, that one's a home run pretty much everywhere. Way out of here off the light tower. What a shot by Judge. That was a backup slider. Cement mixer for the home run. And then the big hit, Gleyber Torres, opposite field. And the Yankees hang on to win one more time from John Sterling. Final comment of the night goes to Mike Rotondo, who wants to see Severino in the pen. I would love to see Severino in the pen, but I think the Yankees are preparing him to come back as a starter. We'll see how that shakes out, but I think he could be a weapon out of the pen. So we'll see. I will see you next time. Yankees win one, 7-6.